Bumps name.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Episode 39 of Tough Bumps. My name is Matt Connerton, and of course, with us as always, Eric Pilcher. Hello, Eric.
Hello, Matt.
And of course, we have the owner of Tough Bumps, Austin Hicks. Hello, Austin.
How you doing today?
Good. Thank you for owning Tough Bumps for us.
Stop!
Without you, I mean, we wouldn't have this show.
Stop this now.
He's the owner of Tough Bumps.
He is not the owner
It's a work in progress.
How is it a work in progress?
You know, copyrights you gotta go through.
Mhm.
My boot's gonna go into your ass.
Domains take a while to process.
Okay, where do you get a domain, Austin?
A website.
What website?
Why do you want to know?
Well, I already know. I'm asking if you know. So you can.
I have people for that. See, when you're the owner, you can have people do stuff for you.
What people do you have?
We can't expect him to own all of this without a team
Yeah,
to help with things.
I got a guy.
Yeah.
Well, wait. First you have people. Now you have a guy.
Well, the guy does work for. He does so much that it's basically a team.
I think that's wonderful.
My head
Happy,
hurts.
happy Easter if you celebrate.
Oh, yes. Happy Easter. Of course, we celebrate the birth of the Easter Bunny.
Yes.
Yep. Happy
You
Easter.
Pooped in your yard.
We are not suspended from YouTube.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad.
That's been going around. Some people have been suspended.
Can I just say, the individual whom we're referring to who has been suspended, it's got to be driving him out of his mind.
And when he realizes the people responsible for his suspension,
Yeah.
like it was me and Billy. Well, Billy and I.
Okay.
Billy and I reported your video. We got you suspended.
Right.
And you have your little pissant troglodytes threatening to end Billy and I, but we're still here. As a matter of fact, I have a new job title. Don't know if you see that.
Oh, managing editor at
Yes.
theirishtribune.com. Congratulations. I mean, it's not as prestigious as the owner of Tough Bumps, but,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
but it
Good
is
job.
impressive. It is impressive.
Austin, how
Keep it
many
up.
hits? Are you flipping kidding me right now? Austin, how many hits did your fictitious website run by a fictitious individual get last week?
You're throwing words at me that I don't know the meaning to.
Was it 13,000? That's a good number. If you're going to make something up, you should go with 13,000.
13,000. You should aim higher than that, Austin.
13,000. That's an arena of people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or Perth, Australia.
That's right. It's the entire population of Perth, I think.
Perth,
Australia.
Like PERF, perf.
So we should explain to Austin this part too, and for our listeners who are unfamiliar. So the individual we're referring, can we just say his name? Are we avoiding his name for any reason, Eric?
I don't give a damn if we say his name. What's he gonna do? Not like he has YouTube anymore.
That's true.
What's he gonna do? Post a video about us on Rumble?
So one of the things, so of course we're referring to Crazy Joe, Jose Martinez, and one of the really interesting things about the way that he speaks is, and he always attributes this to a speech impediment, some words, but this is the weird thing. Some words that end in TH, he can't say. So he says it with an F. So like instead of Perth, you might hear him say perf. But the weird thing is, it's only on some words. Other words that end in TH, he has no problem saying correctly. So it's very bizarre. It's something that has mystified me about him since my first encounter with him. Why is he able to say some words but not others? It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah,
Is it a speech thing, like a speech impediment?
That's what he claims, but it's so inconsistent that it doesn't even make sense.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
then
It's weird.
Speech impediments usually you just have it. Like, it's
Right.
I think it's just he's an idiot. Like, I don't think there's a speech impediment. I think he's a moron.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, watch his videos, people. You'll get pretty quickly what. Oh, wait, you can only watch past videos because you can't make any new ones on YouTube for the time being.
That's right. He has been suspended.
Apparently, wishing someone dead is against YouTube's terms and conditions.
Yeah, I can't do that. So, all right. Well, maybe someday he'll learn. Jenny made a comment to me earlier. She said, how is it that he's never lost his channel? Because he's had so many suspensions over the years, but I know that a strike falls off after 90 days.
Yeah, he's lost his ability to monetize, which is probably like to creators such as you and I, and I guess Austin.
I'm here.
The ability to monetize is huge on YouTube. You lose that, you're sunk.
Well, he wasn't there anyway, because you also have to have 1,000 subscribers, and he was short of that. And you have to have a certain number of watch hours, which he probably did have that, but yeah, he was never going to be I don't think he was ever going to get to 1,000 subscribers anyway, but yeah.
I mean, if the people from Perf come through.
That's right.
People of Perf rally around Joe.
Yeah.
Perf.
The proof is in the perf.
What a jackass.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, well.
It's something when you go to YouTube, and if I needed to smile, I could just type in the Crazy Joe Video Chronicles and not see something that said new video.
Right.
It just warmed my heart. I don't know. Good in the world.
I'm a little bummed, actually, because Jenny and I enjoy putting on his videos when we just want something mindless and just want to hear him, lashing out at the world. And I always look forward to hearing how he'll butcher my last name when he attempts to say it.
Look, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, but when you start wishing someone dead, criticizing a former veteran, when you
and using a lot of violent language, which is kind of new. Like, he was saying things toward the end there. Some of those more recent videos he was posting, he was speaking very violently, which was kind of unusual.
Yeah, like when there's a line, and everyone has that line, that internal line where they're like, "You've crossed it with me."
Right.
Then it's like, okay, now it's no longer funny.
Right.
Like when you and your little subservience start ridiculing a kid with cancer and messing with the GoFundMe page.
Oh yeah.
Like,
not cool.
That's like another
level. Yeah, that's just pure evil.
Like that's outside of an internet rivalry and outside of like banter. That's
or an internet rivalry, because Austin, you don't know this, but that's another word he can't say. Rivalry.
Yeah. Rivalry. He can't say that.
He can't say rivalry. He says rivalry.
Oh.
Or rivalry.
Rivalry.
Is it like a what's the accent? Like what part of America
is he from? I'm gonna take this, Matt. He is from the rectum of America.
Alabama?
No. Oh. New York.
Oh. He's from New York City.
Yeah, he is from the butthole of America that is New York City. He claims because he's from New York, he's better than everyone.
Right. If he were a wrestler, that would be his gimmick. I'm from New York. I'm better than you.
Austin,
that's MJF.
Yeah.
Matt, you won't get this reference. Best way I can put it to you is he is the real life incarnation with mental retardation of Phil Baroni.
Oh,
I've heard the name Phil Baroni.
He's the New York badass who's currently sitting in a Mexican prison for allegedly murdering his girlfriend in Mexico. But he's a former MMA fighter who would walk just this over-the-top New York persona.
yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Sounds like an interesting guy.
Not really. He's a meathead and a moron. So, Austin, imagine Phil Baroni with Down syndrome, and that's Crazy Joe.
Well,
Living in Section 8 housing as well.
all right. Yeah. Well, so this might be the end of Crazy Joe if he can't get back on YouTube.
He's on Rumble, Matt.
Well, I know, but that's got to be, see, that's the part. I'm glad you mentioned that. I forgot about that piece of this because that's got to be driving him crazy because he's on Rumble because it's much harder to get, like Rumble, you can be hateful and they'll let it fly. Although you still can't, their copyright rules are almost as strict as YouTube's, which a lot of people don't realize, but it's got to be driving him nuts. He's putting videos on Rumble now, but who's seeing them? Because nobody knows to follow him to Rumble.
Nobody knows he's suspended. He's had his little foot soldier, David, do posts, but David has like 8 subscribers.
Right.
So it's like no one knows. And he can't tease it on his radio show because General Scotty won't allow it.
Yeah. And who's he going to tease it to on his radio show? Because obviously there's probably like, he's probably got, 10, 15 listeners to his radio show, not 13,000. I mean, this guy, General Scotty, clearly is just making up numbers.
Well, I don't doubt that he could have 13,000, but
I do. For real?
It's a built-in audience.
There is no built-in audience. So look at the social media for Dare Media, that company. They've gotten like nothing. There's nothing going on there.
Where can I find him at?
You can watch his Austin. I'll send you a link to his videos. I'm not gonna say on our show.
Oh, I got you.
Like I'm not gonna give him clicks from our show. That is not gonna happen here. I will send you a link where you can see some of his videos. He also calls me Eric Pincher, the guy who talks with cock in his mouth.
Or sometimes now he calls you Eric Filter.
Filter, Donkey Boy. Yeah.
I'm just for the hell of it, I'm Googling Dare Media Group. And
regardless, any listeners he has for his show on Radio X or Dare Radio Group is built in. It's not
right.
It's not that he cultivated that audience. And again, I said this in my blog post about him. He doesn't understand he doesn't understand metrics.
Right.
At all. There is no baseline knowledge. He looks at views as an empirical number. He can't quote you average time of visit. He can't tell you revisits. He doesn't know how to read a sliding scale. So he has these numbers are just raw data that he thinks is empirical, because raw data without context is nothing. They're numbers.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned to one of his followers, I'm like, let's compare Tough Bump's TikTok numbers to Joe's. Let's compare our Facebook views to Joe's. You're just looking at live numbers because that's the only thing he can look at.
Right.
We average, I would say, based on what I've seen on TikTok, 600 to 800 views per clip.
Right.
I mean, those are solid numbers for a show that has no advertising.
Yeah.
But, you sit there and you say that to him, and he basically says that number doesn't matter. Yes, that number does matter, Joe. That number is actually quite empirical in today's society.
Right.
So this is who we're dealing with here.
Yeah. I did look it up. So according to AI, Dare Media Group actually has 20,000 listeners. But that number comes from them. But the thing is, though, there's no such thing especially in online radio, there's no such thing as a built-in audience. If they really do have that many monthly listeners, there are specific shows airing on there that are attracting those listeners. There's no built-in audience.
Show is not one of them.
Right, exactly.
I've actually listened to a couple of their programs. Their morning show they have is really good.
Is it? Yeah.
They have a sports talk show too that's decent. So they have talented individuals. I guess if I could sit down with General Scotty, I would ask, why the hell bring Joe into this?
Right. What do you want that mess for?
That's a wart on a pretty good hand.
Right.
So whatever, not my station, do what you want, but it's like you're just gonna blemish your reputation.
Right.
So
exactly.
You, dude.
Well, all right. Well, should we move on to we've got some I'm dying to talk about this first subject.
I'm not.
I'm very curious.
I actually was interested to see how you thought of this, Matt, because I know you're a fan of Pat McAfee.
I am a fan of Pat McAfee. That is true.
Be a fan.
I'm also a fan of Pat McAfee.
You can be a fan of Pat McAfee and look at this and say, this is absolutely awful.
All right. Here's what I'll say what I'm thinking, and then because I know I'm going to be at odds with the rest of the IWC on this. Okay, Jenny and I were watching this. We were watching this yesterday. We didn't watch SmackDown until Saturday because Friday night I'm on the air. So I already knew. I didn't let on to Jenny because she hates spoilers. I already knew what had happened. Mm-hmm. And I had already seen the pile-on of the IWC hates this.
I was a part of it.
I'm sure you both were. I actually
cynical. I have to be.
Yes, of course. Of course. I actually thought this was interesting. And I want to say this. So yes, I understand the problems with it, and I'm sure we'll get into all of it, because I'm not going to tell you that I thought it was great. I thought it was interesting. That doesn't mean it was great necessarily, but I thought it had more potential than maybe everyone's realizing. But I also have to say this: it sure as hell got people talking, and Pat McAfee's involvement in something like this does bring mainstream attention. So even though everyone might hate it, at least people are talking about it, and at least it's got people interested. I will also say this. I wish Pat McAfee's promo had been better. I wish it had been more focused, because I do see an opportunity here. I think the angle should be, and they may have already screwed this up, but should be, Randy Orton. He's been talking to Pat McAfee because Pat McAfee is so successful. He's got this enormous show. It's on ESPN, right?
Yep.
It's simulcast on ESPN. But
he's got this enormous show, this enormous presence. And so Orton's been kind of listening to him. Now, McAfee, so I think, and I'm curious, McAfee as a heel, I think, is very intriguing. And I think he kind of showed some of that he has potential as a heel. Now, some of the shit that he said didn't make any sense. Like, he starts talking about the Attitude Era during his promo. And it's like, well, Orton wasn't even active during the Attitude Era. Orton was there for the beginning of the Ruthless Aggression Era. So that didn't even really make sense. So there were some things there that didn't make sense. But I actually see potential in this. I also think they're doing it too late, though. But I do think they're maybe they can kind of right the ship here, because it wasn't perfect. But I'm intrigued by this, and it's got people talking. So there's my spiel.
Austin, I'll go next.
Oh, go
ahead. I'm gonna be measured in my words here. This is what happens when you panic. Look, all this is WWE and, well, in TKO, throwing poop at the wall and hoping it sticks. They are scared right now, and they are looking at dismal ticket sales. This is on track to be the lowest attended stadium-based WrestleMania in the history of WrestleMania.
I didn't realize that.
So you're trying to get whatever name you can.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing that even if it's a square peg in a round hole. This Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes story did not need a mystery man.
Well, that I agree with. I do agree with you there.
Did not need Pat McAfee. The story writes itself. History is automatically there. 2 second-generation guys. One guy brought him up in this business.
You know what we haven't been getting, though, is you know how obviously with Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, we get almost every week, we get some sort, well, not literally every week, because sometimes it's just physicality, but we've gotten several face-to-face promos with the two of them, which have been fire. I love those. We have not gotten that with Orton and Cody Rhodes.
You have to differentiate. You have to differentiate the two main events.
But think about what you could do, though, in terms of storytelling, if you have a verbal confrontation between them.
Right.
And they should give us that. Man, maybe they will yet, but we're running out of time.
This is more like Randy Orton as the crazy Randy Orton that hears the voices is more impulsive. If you're trying to market a guy as being in this impulsive time bomb, you're not going to have him talk on the mic for a 7 to 10 minute promo.
But they just haven't had him. They have done that, though. They just haven't had him do that with Cody.
Right. But I'm getting to that. You're not going to have him face to face with his rival.
I disagree.
Because the psychology is gone. Every time they've gotten together, they've had Randy turn everything physical and brutal, which I like. Look, bringing Pat McAfee in is a panic, and it's a bad decision. Because one, it makes no sense having Pat McAfee in this. Two, you've booked yourself in a situation with Pat McAfee saying, if Randy Orton loses, I'll be done with wrestling. One, you're not around that much anyway. So what's it matter? Be done then. Two, now you've made it so people are like, they always want to keep that door open for Pat McAfee to return.
I don't think that matters. He's a heel. He could be lying about that. Heels lie all the time. What he says doesn't matter. Randy's gonna
win. And I think that's the general consensus anyway, is that Randy was gonna win this match.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't necessarily know, because the general consensus is Roman is beating CM Punk. And, I think you have 2 title changes like that. I don't know. I think that they're just panicked and they rushed into this. And this is what happens when you have non-wrestling minds make wrestling decisions.
Well, we should explain that because now that as more news comes out about that, how this happened, which is very interesting.
This was a complete TKO move. WWE had no involvement.
Ari Emanuel is not a wrestling mind. So
Andy's Pat McAfee's agent.
Yeah. Yep. Ari Emanuel is making these decisions. And it's like, you're making business decisions. In wrestling, you have to have that balance of business and wrestling. You can't just make business decisions because you're going to hurt the wrestling product. And this is what happens when you do that. You give us a mystery man, and you basically spit in Cody Rhodes' face for the second year in a row, you're saying you can't carry a main event. You need
without a celebrity involved.
Yeah, you need this enhancement. And you know what? Maybe because it's so close to Mania, this won't blow up in their face again. I hope it does. I hope it's a catastrophic failure. I hope that ESPN says, hey, Pat, we need you for some NFL spot that weekend.
Well, whatever happens next, you're dying to see it, aren't you?
No. Come
on, of course you are.
No, I give a damn about there was a time I cared more about Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes than I did Punk versus Reigns.
Yeah.
And I don't care now.
So we should talk about the promo, because then, so on the same night that this happens, Cody comes out and cuts a promo at the end, which we now know,
which was a complete shoot.
That was a shoot, and that was not on the run sheet apparently. And supposedly, if the reporting is correct, and it's not coming from Meltzer, it's coming from people who actually have some credibility. Dave
Meltzer did a report during an earthquake this week.
Oh, well, good. He's a hero.
I saw that actually.
I take it back. He's an American hero, Dave Meltzer.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
If only the earthquake could have crumbled on him.
So Cody comes out and cuts that promo, and supposedly that was a last minute decision. And the creative team told him shoot from the hip, and it was not on the run sheet. It was not originally scheduled, which explains that comment, because he said at the end of the promo something about, I know exactly who I'm talking about when I say kiss my ass or something.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone who represents you, Pat McAfee, I know exactly who I'm talking about. Now, which brings me to, and by the way, that was the best Cody Rhodes promo, like almost ever. But it brings me to a question. Is it possible that this whole thing is a work?
It might turn into one.
Like a worked shoot, like a Vince Russo style worked shoot.
McAfee's promo was a worked shoot.
Yeah, right.
And
what if the whole thing is a work to get us talking? And
look, I think that's the way you salvage this. You make it a work.
Mm-hmm.
You make it a work shoot. I think that's the only way you can make this decent. I think making it good or great is now gone. Now you're just working to make it passable. Much like Crazy Joe's radio show every Thursday night. Just work to make it passable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
hey,
I don't know.
I see David's in our chat. I'd like to ask, hey David, how's Crazy Joe on YouTube going? How's that working out for him?
I'm sure David watches his Rumble videos.
Yeah.
So
Billy,
I was going to tune into SmackDown, and I'm gonna go off for a minute here, so just bear with me.
Yeah.
I tuned into SmackDown, and I read the Fightful report or whatever that they were going to reveal who it was that night on SmackDown. And I was talking to people, I was like, the best possible choice, Kevin Owens, because they have
that would have been cool.
There's history there with both of them. Or shot in the dark, very unlikely that it would be The Rock, and we could finally finish this Cody story.
That would have been great.
And it turned out to be Pat McAfee, and this match for me went from I really want to see it to now I don't care anymore.
Really?
My excitement levels for this match have tanked to an all-time low.
Wow.
Because in my opinion, this was a layup. This was the easiest slam dunk WWE had. You have Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton were in a stable together for 3 years, and they have yet to bring that up. Cody Rhodes' first WWE match was against Randy Orton, and I don't think they brought that up. Pat McAfee's promo was really bad because he basically came out and said, the product sucks, the ratings are bad, SmackDown is a horrible show, and WrestleMania isn't sold out yet. And that's also an interesting point because you are now representing the guy who is main eventing WrestleMania, and you are openly saying that he can't sell out their biggest show of the year. Good on you, you fucking moron.
That surprised me, by the way. That was the most I was surprised that he said that.
And he said Cody Rhodes is the reason why WWE sucks, devaluing your biggest babyface and your WWE champion. But hey, please watch WrestleMania. It's going to be a really good show. He said he wanted this to go back to the Attitude Era, which this is more WCW 2000 than anything the Attitude Era did. This is Hogan era TNA levels of bad.
Oh, yikes!
You
really hate this?
Can this match be good? Sure. Am I expecting a good match now? Not really, because TKO has a fetish for including celebrities in our wrestling product when you have guys more than capable of selling a wrestling product by themselves, but hey, ticket sales are low. Hey, John Cena, come back out of retirement. I know he's not wrestling, but like, it is the ultimate panic move when they don't need to hit a panic move, because when you have guys like Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, they are good enough to sell a match by themselves. There is literal decades of history here between the two, and they don't care. I feel awful for Cody Rhodes because they have now sabotaged his WrestleMania main event for 3 years now. If you remember to Mania 40, they wanted to insert The Rock. Fans revolted, thankfully, and they switched. Now, The Rock, and then the year before that, Travis Scott was a part of it. The Rock was hardly a part of it. And then we got the John Cena heel turn, which whatever you think of that is whatever you think of that. And now this year they are inserting Pat McAfee, who they want an ESPN head there because it is their first Mania on ESPN. I get that.
I didn't even think of that part. That didn't even occur to me, but you're right.
Pat McAfee could have been the host of WrestleMania, or he could have returned on commentary, and it would have
John Cena as the host of WrestleMania now.
Okay, I'm saying there are other things that Pat McAfee could have done, and it would have given off the same effect.
Sure, WrestleMania needs a mascot.
That part never even occurred to me, though, Austin. You make a great point there about being the first WrestleMania on ESPN. Never even dawned on me.
So then now, can Pat McAfee do good in this role? I think so, because in NXT he was a heel, and I think he was good at it. Mm-hmm. I think this is just the wrong spot for him to be in. I don't blame Pat McAfee for this, because he was probably told, "Hey, we want you back. This is what you're doing." And Pat McAfee would honestly be an idiot to say no. Right. I feel very bad for Cody Rhodes, because it seems like Ari Emanuel doesn't actually believe in him as the guy that can run this company. Which
Ari Emanuel is looking at numbers that don't matter.
He has been, which Cody Rhodes has time and time again proven them wrong, but they don't care. And this was honestly terrible. I hated this a lot.
This is what happens when a company makes billions of dollars of an investment into another company, and they're getting impatient with ROI, which is return on investment.
And I get it. I get it. Ari Emanuel is high on Pat McAfee. I read a report that Ari Emanuel wants him to be the next Sylvester Stallone, which is the craziest headline I think I have ever read. No, Pat McAfee, you can't act for shit. You are a sports head. Stay in your lane.
I love Sylvester Stallone, but you're not gonna put him in Marty Supreme here. Okay. Yeah. He isn't like an actor in the sense of Timothy Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn. But he's nowhere near Sylvester Stallone.
Like,
Pat could not be could not be the headliner in two of the greatest movie sagas of all time.
Well, is McAfee ever even acted? Like, I'm not aware of him.
He did a short episode run on Tulsa King, which is funny enough a show that is starring
I didn't know that.
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And but how was he on that show?
I don't watch Tulsa.
Oh, you
King,
haven't
so
seen it?
no
Okay,
idea.
yeah. I haven't seen it either. I didn't know though that he'd acted at all.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was just recently, I think.
He's playing an exaggerated version of Pat McAfee.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
So,
That makes sense.
I mean, range? That's like asking David Hasselhoff to play a drunken bigot. Wow, look at the stretch.
I mean, like, what was wrong with the lane McAfee was in before? He's a guy that has an ESPN show, but he comes to WWE whenever he can. Like, he doesn't need to be involved in the actual wrestling part, much less one of your main events of WrestleMania. Like,
I would have preferred him being the host, because I also think them naming John Cena as a host is another panic move.
it is.
The host of WrestleMania has never. The only time I can remember the host of WrestleMania moving the needle was when The Rock hosted at WrestleMania 28.
Yeah.
No, 27.
27. Yeah.
Yeah, when he hosted, it moved the needle.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was the first time we'd seen Rock in a wrestling space in years. Like,
right.
It made sense. It was an actual surprise.
Yeah.
You need to have all the elements need to fit together. Like, you're bringing out John Cena, you're bringing out Pat McAfee. Anyone that sees this can say, now they're panicking. Now they're trying to put stuff together.
I would not be surprised if they had already had the thought though of John Cena as the host. I think that might have already been an idea.
Apparently this plan with, and once again, I credit Fightful for this. They said that McAfee was the planned mystery guy since around Elimination Chamber.
Really?
So this has been a plan in the works for a while.
See, if that's the case, then they should have started dropping hints way before all of this. I mean, there was only one hint when McAfee said that he felt like the business had passed him by, which kind of plays in with this promo.
The only other hint was after the initial attack from Orton to Cody when Orton turned heel. Cody was supposed to go on the Pat McAfee show to talk about it, but then it got canceled for scheduling conflicts.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even realize that.
So could they play that into the story? Sure. I think McAfee referenced that in his promo.
I don't think the mystery man element was played up that much either. All we had was that one phone call, and then
there were two, I think. 2 calls, right?
Okay, 2. And then it was an afterthought. I mean, I think it would have been cool if the mystery man was just the voices in Randy Orton's head.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, because
it's better than this.
The first time we saw Orton talking to somebody was, I think it was on like a Raw or something like that. And then he goes, "Hey Cody, wrestling has more than one royal family." And then this is the guy who you're talking to. What royal family is Pat McAfee in?
I've thought about that too, and my thought about that is he was saying that, in other words, the way they can close that loop is he'll say at some point that it was Pat McAfee who reminded him that he comes from wrestling royalty because of Cowboy Bob and his grandfather and everything.
Back to the very beginning to make up for creative.
Well, that's what I mean, though. That's how they could cover that.
But like this reveal, I'm just saying this reveal could have gone so much better if it was. Hell, I would have taken Cowboy Bob over Pat McAfee.
That would have been awful.
Because
at
because
this point,
at least,
how old is he?
I don't know. But at least it would have made
Bob makes more sense than Pat McAfee, Matt.
That would have been such a letdown, though. I know a lot of people thought that because of Randy's wrestling royal family comment, but that just would have been awful in 2026. What is he, like 80?
This could have been, like Cowboy Bob would have been the lame choice, but it would have made sense.
It would have made sense.
The Rock would have been the most out of pocket choice, but it would have been
great.
It would have been cool because Rock always being around gathers up excitement. Or the best possible choice, I will say, is Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens was the rightful choice for this.
I love that idea. I love that idea.
The problem is, I read somewhere, and it was like a brief snippet on Facebook, that Kevin Owens is nowhere near being cleared.
Okay, but he doesn't have to be cleared to just go out to the ring and do promos for Orton.
Right.
For insurance purposes, because of his injury, there might be something there that they don't want him in the ring just in case.
That's a good point.
Happens. He had major neck fusion surgery.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to guess that there's a lot of legals involved with Kevin Owens coming back.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And I think that's why and I love the idea. I thought Kevin Owens would have been great, but it's just so tough because you're sitting here and you're like, an accident happening is so rare, but if it does,
he's out.
Like you, and Kevin Owens is such a professional.
Yeah.
He would be in that situation at Mania. He'd want to take a bump.
Yeah.
He'd want to do a table spot. He would want to do a chair spot. He would want to do something.
Well, I would assume they would. Yeah, now that you say that, it does make sense because I would assume the end game for this is like McAfee getting involved in the match and then Cody hitting him with a crossroads or something like that. Like Cody needs to give a receipt to Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
And then my big problem was...
You have more big problems?
No, this is the last one. The IWC, which Pat McAfee referenced because, he referenced the internet. There was a lot of people, defending this. Not the way that Matt was, because I think Matt actually gave out some pretty good points. It was just dumb, smooth-brained dumb stuff. It was like, oh, what position did Pat McAfee play in football? The punter. This is how Randy Orton can bring back the punt kick. And it's like, why do you like eating shit? Why does WWE force you shit and you eat it? Why does Randy Orton need a NFL punter to remember how to do the punt kick?
No, that's a great point.
Here is my issue with the IWC, and it's a major issue. They are so ingrained in tribalism. You have half of them that are AEW nut huggers, the other half that would siphon off Triple H's ball sweat.
So,
I would, because he's from New Hampshire.
You would siphon off Triple H's ball sweat?
I suppose, yeah. I mean, he's from Nashua. He's like 20 minutes. He's from 20 minutes from here.
Tough Bumps has had a great run.
Okay, I have a question though. No, I would not. No, I do have a question though. Am I missing anything? Is there something that I'm forgetting about as some sort of a connection between Orton and Pat McAfee and storyline that I'm forgetting that they can use in any of this? I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
They've never interacted before.
That part's weird. Yeah.
Orton's been on a show.
That is the number one issue that everyone should have with this.
Yeah.
That no one is saying because it's so painfully obvious.
Yeah.
Like last time we saw Pat McAfee, there was no build to this. He's sitting there yeeting.
He got beat up
on the announce table.
The last time we saw him, Pat, was his match with Gunther, right?
Yeah, but he went out as a baby face dying on his hill.
Yeah,
Which is crazy, first off.
There is no precipice for this.
Yeah. And then I will say the funny thing you bring up about tribalism is as soon as this segment ended, it might have been this one or the one that Cody did later in the show, but I went to Twitter and the first thing I saw was Tony Khan. It was Tony Khan tweeted AEW, we're the best wrestle, and he tweeted and he added every AEW account.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tony Khan promotes this tribalism more than anyone. And it's like, Tony, Do you understand that tribalism is bad for the wrestling business? Like it doesn't grow a new audience for you.
Right.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that it does is make your little nut huggers happy with glee and chant Tony Khan. Tony Khan.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We did that at Collision. Don't say that.
Professional wrestling, though, is a great example as a business, as an industry where a high tide raises all ships. You know, if when anybody's doing well, everybody's kind of doing well.
There's a difference between tribalism and healthy competition.
Yeah.
No, there's a major difference. You can't.
That's what The Rock.
One of those things I can't explain it to you, but I know the difference when I see it.
But like, think about it like this: The Rock was on Instagram Live. This might have been a long time ago by this point, maybe even before he joined TKO. But he did an Instagram Live, and he was asked about AEW. He was like, it was like, "Hey, Rock, do you watch AEW?" And The Rock goes, "Yeah, I watch AEW. I like what they're doing." And he goes, "It's great that they exist because it makes everybody work more. It's more competitive and it's healthy for wrestling."
Yep.
But yeah, and both sides are bad. Both sides are bad with this. You got AEW fans that hate everything that WWE does. And then you got WWE fans that have only watched WWE in their lives that say like, "Oh, WWE is the only wrestling that I need and everything else is minor leagues." It's very unhealthy. But when WWE, in my opinion, messes up this badly, that audience comes up more than any other one.
I'm dying to see what happens next, though.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this: if you like the segment, if you think this is cool, more power to you. I'm not here to disagree with what you like about wrestling, but I just hated this personally.
People like what they like.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And you can. That's what makes pro wrestling great. If you like this, I second what Austin said. Cool. I didn't. And I think I'm a part of the majority. Matt is a part of the minority.
Like, I'm not even, I wouldn't even necessarily say I liked it, but because I did have some problems with it. I just don't think it's as awful as everyone else does, I guess.
I mean,
damning with faint praise, but
when they, I mean, this is only the first segment, and we'll see how this goes when we get to.
The thing is they only have 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like WrestleMania is in 2 weeks, so they don't have much.
Like, how much build are you going to have in, like, roughly 4 hours of TV?
Yeah.
You know, it's
unless they start moving some of this over to Raw and like Cody
that would be
Pat
even worse because you're going to take time away. I think Raw has head and shoulders the way better built at WrestleMania. If we're looking top to bottom, the Raw side of WrestleMania is infinitely better than the.
I think Raw has more matches than SmackDown does.
Yes,
yeah. Well, they have more time.
Because isn't Brock and Oba technically a Raw match?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And then to Brock.
Well, all right. Well, should we move on to the next? Anything else to say on this, or should we?
I mean, this is what happens when you panic, and I'll leave it at that.
All right. Well, we will sally forth to let's see. So we have new Janelle Grant news, new allegations, and so forth. And
yeah, she actually named Brock Lesnar.
Oh,
yeah, because in the original filing, it was like the way Lesnar was referred to. It was obvious that it was him, but not by name. But now we know definitely it was Brock. Who? But my understanding is like he never actually had any direct contact with her, right?
Yes,
I mean, not in person. I mean, I should say
it was all text. But he has. I think the most telling thing here, and if there are young children listening, parents, I don't think there is, but to cover our butts, please have them cover their ears or hit the mute because this is a touch objectionable. He asked for a video of Janelle Grant urinating.
Ew.
Yeah.
And sent her a message saying, I could not wait to plow you.
Yep.
So, I mean, it refutes my claim on Brock that Brock was just like, kind of just brought along for the ride, so to speak.
Right.
He just jumped in on Vince's locker roomism of, oh, I'm railing this girl. Oh, good on you. She's hot. No, Brock is directly involved here.
Brock lives on a farm, though, so the plowing could have been a reference to that.
It was done the night it was supposed to meet, Matt. I don't.
I'm sorry.
About a cornfield.
I'm from New Hampshire. I'm very naive. I don't understand these sophisticated things.
Farmers message their girlfriends or one night stands
on Farmers Only. They do. I bet you.
Absolutely.
Maybe Brock's on Farmers Only. Maybe he got confused and thought she was on there. I don't know. Anyway.
Fantastic.
I mean, this is the last thing that WWE needed was even more allegations from Janelle Grant.
I do think that, and I'm glad you brought that up, Austin. I think this is tactful.
Yeah.
I think there's strategy involved with this.
Well, because, and I want to be really careful with how I say this because I don't want to make like, oh, Janelle Grant's like piling on because that's not what I'm trying to say. But, when you're this close to WrestleMania and for the first time since Mania 39, I think that Brock is in a big time match and, people are actually loving the build to his match. And, this comes out about Brock Lesnar and
I don't
right when WWE was beginning to trust him again with big things. I mean, when you really look at it, Brock hasn't been back for a super long time. And yeah, this just makes everything worse.
I do think and I want to be careful because I don't want to be accusatory here. I do think WWE knew everything that was in there. So they knew about this.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
definitely.
Now, of course, I'm going to say this. It's great legal strategy on the part of Janelle Grant's legal team to time it like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because now you're putting pressure on Vince and his legal team. How do you respond to this? And if we're keeping score, Vince is down in this. Vince is down big. He hasn't won. They're still trying to rule on if it'll go to arbitration, which the longer that, my understanding of it is the longer that ruling takes, the more it's not going to be found in the filer.
Because hasn't Vince only tried to do a settlement so far?
Yeah, that's why he wants to go to arbitration, because in arbitration, none of this comes out to the public. If it goes to trial, it's public record.
Yeah.
So he's really pushing for arbitration. So I think the most inflammatory part of this is that Grant claimed McMahon offered her to other WWE talents beyond Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
That's
new to me. I haven't heard that.
I mean, that now circles back to the human trafficking charge.
Right.
And now we're looking at it like, if this is found true, Vince McMahon dodged a major bullet, because they've already said they're not going to pursue criminal charges against him.
Right.
So double jeopardy would be in play. I don't think there would be enough new evidence to circumvent double jeopardy in this.
Yeah.
But Vince, at this point should be thanking his lucky stars if that's true.
Yeah.
I think my opinion, and I saw a lot of disgusting posts about Janelle Grant.
Oh, of course.
Calling her a gold digger and everything. It's like,
it's been that way since she first came out.
That's what always happens.
Yeah. It ramped up. It's victim shaming. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
So it's ramped up.
Yeah.
And look, my opinion has not changed. If one side of the equation feels violated, it is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And there can't be any line there. There can't be any gray area. Yeah. If one side feels over the span of a relationship they were the victim, legitimately feels they were the victim, it's not done out of spite, not done with malicious intent, then they are the victim and they deserve legal retribution for that.
I think what gets in the way for a lot of people in their minds is some people just don't understand power dynamics, because you'll always hear people say, the people who want to give people like Janelle Grant a hard time, well, why did she wait so long? Why did she go along with things as long as she did this and that?
The gifts?
Right. And they don't understand power dynamics. And some people just aren't smart enough to understand it, quite frankly, if I'm being honest, and that's unfortunate. I mean, some people are just assholes, and some people are just really hateful. But I think some people just legitimately,
given the current climate in the world today, that's more of them than you're
probably
credence to.
Probably. Look, but I do think there are some people too who just, maybe they don't mean to be hateful and awful. They just aren't intelligent enough to understand the power dynamics. And
I just don't understand. Like, it happens in every job you ever work at. Like, power dynamics, not to this extreme, I'll say, but power dynamics happen. There are stuff that people in power can do that normal employees cannot do.
Right.
Even though we have a union, it happens at the post office.
Sure.
I mean,
happens everywhere.
It's like, I mean, I can speak to this. It's, management will always try to violate our union contract. And it's like, because they either A, they think they can, or B, they're hoping they'll get away with it, or C, they just don't give a damn. It's one of those three. Give extra credence to they're just fucking stupid. Or a combination of all four. And so, people don't understand when you are as desperate as Janelle Grant was at that point in time. Vince McMahon preyed on her. A young girl broke, lost her parents, down on her luck, nowhere to turn. Yeah, Vince McMahon preyed on her. And you can sit here and say she accepted the gifts and all of that. It was all done because Vince McMahon preyed on her. He was a predator. He was a sexual predator. In WWE, WWF, long has a history of this.
Yes.
So I like how everyone's like, I see people say, rest in peace, Ashley Massaro, and then turn around and say, oh, Janelle Grant's a lying hoe. Wait a minute. You are the most hypocritical piece of garbage ever. You are sitting here, rest in peace, Ashley Massaro, but you're doing the same exact thing that led to Ashley Massaro committing suicide. You're also discounting her.
Janelle Grant attempted suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's the IWC just blows my mind with the gymnastics they play with situations.
Yeah. I mean, we're also talking about the same guy who helped Jimmy Snuka cover up a murder.
Right.
I wasn't going to go there because I have a lot to say about that. And,
Oh, we'll have to. Oh, that could be a main event. One of these weeks. Oh, for real.
I think we would all agree. In my opinion, Jimmy Snuka has been talked about, and I feel for Nancy Argento's family. I really, really do, because they never got justice or closure.
Right.
They never got that. Say what you want about Chris Benoit, at least Nancy's family got closure. It's not the closure they wanted, but there's closure.
Right.
Nancy Argento's family, that was robbed of them by Vince McMahon and Jimmy Snuka's wife.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. Well, anything more to say on Janelle Grant?
Thoughts are with her. Keep fighting the good fight.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, we should move on then to the Hall of Fame. We have another match being inducted.
I think this might complete the Hall of Fame class.
I think it will.
Hogan and Andre from WrestleMania 3. It is the second match to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Which honestly, I'm surprised it wasn't the first match.
I am as well. I think a lot of it had to do. I think if Hogan were still alive, this would not be the match inducted this year.
You think it would not be?
No. What do you think would have been?
I don't know what would have been. I just know this wouldn't have been.
Yeah. We should say too, I mean, the match itself is not good.
It's very odd because this isn't a bad match. Or hold on. This is a bad match, but it's not in the same way. It's just something weird. Like, this match is weird.
Clunky.
Andre couldn't do anything at that point.
Yeah, well, Andre couldn't do anything, but I don't know what it was like watching this match live, obviously. But it's very obvious when you go to watch this match back, you're just waiting for the power slam. That's pretty much all you're waiting for.
Yeah.
And when that finally happens, like it's like and the crowd the crowd plays into this big too. It's a legit moment, what I mean? It's like, they play it. It's been in every promo package ever done, and it will be till the end of time. Well,
it's quite possibly the biggest moment in pro wrestling history.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the match is not good. I dare say it's one of the top 10 worst WrestleMania matches.
Yeah, I would agree.
If you watch this match without context, without anything, you're like, why are they cheering this?
Yeah.
Right.
Why do they like this? This is the drizzling craps.
Yeah. I think I'm a lot nicer to this match, I think, because of what the moment meant for Andre.
Right.
Andre finally got the big Mania main event moment that he deserved.
Right.
I think this should have been where Andre called it a career, because because once we get past this, he can't even do what he did in this match anymore. Like, he can't bump.
And what he did in this match wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, all Andre did in this match, honestly, was just take a bump. But when you're dealing with what Andre was dealing with, that's a big ask, unfortunately. And I think it's definitely a match that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And, this won't be the last Hogan match to be inducted, so you might as well get this one out of the way before you get...
I don't have an issue with this match being inducted. I just stand behind my original statement. If Hogan were still alive, no.
Is there a Hogan match that you would have inducted before this one? Because
I was kind of wondering that too.
I have an answer.
No. Wait.
I honestly.
Wait. Yes.
I would have done Hogan and Rock first before this one.
I would have done what we're going to talk about today. I'd have done
Okay.
Hogan and Savage.
Oh, interesting.
I would have done Hogan
But
and
that
Rock.
is more, and I'm upset that we're getting into it now, but that is more of a credit to Randy than Hogan. If we're giving Hogan flowers, yes, Hogan Rock.
Yeah.
But if we're just going off great matches, I think the first match inducted should have been Steamboat Savage.
Oh,
If you're
absolutely.
If you're going to induct a match, it's the greatest Mania match ever.
Yeah, it's like shocking how
And then-
good it holds up.
And then this year you could have done Austin Brett.
Yeah.
Or you could have done a litany of matches, you know. You could have done Shawn and Taker.
Yeah.
The first one they did, which is better than the second one.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. They should. I don't know. I give the nod to Hogan and Rock because I think it's a great match, to be honest. And it was Hogan's first Mania after being gone from WCW, and it's kind of like the rebirth of Hulkamania, shedding the NWO.
I agree somewhat. The only thing I might disagree with you on is I think the match itself, like Hogan versus Andre, not nearly to the same extent. I think the match itself isn't that great, Hogan and Rock, but the crowd, to me,
The crowd
makes that match.
The crowd makes the match,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Rock wrestled his ass off in that match for Hogan.
True.
Well, he had
True.
to.
Yeah, he had to. And he does great. Rock does great in terms of how he reacts to the crowd and how he adjusts on the fly. They both do. They both do. It's fantastic. I love that match.
I think that is one of the very few times I will go against my golden rule. Nothing goes on after the title.
Yeah.
That absolutely should have been the main event. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because the crowd were.
But again, you know, we have the luxury of being armchair quarterbacks. In that moment, I get why you did it that way. The Triple H return was a bigger story, but man, when you have that match at the forefront of all of your promotional material, that needs to be the match.
Right.
I think it's hilarious whenever Triple H talks about that match because he's literally in gorilla position getting ready to go on, and he's watching the match, and he turns to Jericho and just goes, "Yeah, we're fucked."
Yeah.
We're not getting the crowd. Like, we're done. Like, because they knew that the crowd wasn't gonna have anything.
Yeah,
for
they
that
were
match.
bad. They were done.
And honestly, Rock and Hogan was a better match between those two anyway.
Well,
out of the two matches,
you know, I don't think. Jericho and Triple H did lacked chemistry, and it was obvious in that match. There's a reason why the rematch was relegated to Monday Night Raw and included a thrown together Stephanie McMahon storyline.
Yeah.
Get Stephanie off TV. It was bad. I mean, it didn't work because when it worked in the past, you had Chris Jericho as the babyface, Triple H as the heel. You reversed the roles in this one. It didn't work. You had Stephanie McMahon cornering Chris Jericho. That was stupid because you're like, wait a minute. He spent like the better part of 2 years calling this woman a hoe.
A trash bag hoe.
A trash bag hoe, a dirty, filthy beast, and everything else that he said, including one of the greatest lines ever: a SummerSlam is a quickie with Stephanie McMahon.
let the boobies hit the floor. Who do you think inducts this match?
Good question.
Who's the ref in this match? And are they still alive?
Unfortunately, it's
Tony Morella, right?
Joey Morella.
Joey Morella, and he is dead, isn't he?
He's the first one to die. He died in a car accident.
Ah, that's right. On the New Jersey Turnpike.
Son. Yep.
Because that was also something I thought of. I was like, one, who inducts this match? And two, who even gives the speech?
I think
or do they even give a speech for this?
lack of better options, I'm gonna say Bischoff.
Okay.
Really? Why?
Close to Hogan. Maybe Nick Bolea.
Oh God.
Maybe Nick. Yeah.
Brooke?
I don't think it's Bischoff.
Would it be Brooke?
No.
No. God.
Whatever.
Heavens no.
I'm just trying to think who around that area was even related to the story.
Yeah.
Right. There isn't anyone. Bobby Heenan's dead.
Jake
Andre's
Roberts?
dead. Yeah. Okay. That's gonna go over like a wet
I don't know.
I don't know. I think maybe it is Nick.
I think
Bischoff sounds right to me.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys think Bischoff?
I think Bischoff might do the induction. I don't know who would.
need a guy that
accept
has
it.
an understanding of the business, and Eric has that. He has a personal connection with Hogan, and he also has a connection with the AWA. And
I know. It just seems like he's so. I don't know. In my mind, he's like in such a different universe than this match is
Right.
in. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I get what you're saying.
a cheap and easy Hogan catch-all.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, last year when they did this, the first year they did a match. Punk inducted the Brett and Stone Cold match. So would it be like? Is that a tradition where it's like a current
superstar? Maybe
it's a current guy.
That would make sense.
Maybe they have like a big muscle-bound guy induct the match that's well-spoken, so not Brock or Obafemi.
I was gonna say Obafemi would be sweet.
Big E.
Danhausen.
I would pay money to have Danhausen induct this match.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, who in current day is like a big Hogan fan? Like
that's the thing. Well, that presents an interesting problem, doesn't it? Because no one wants to come out as being a big Hogan fan.
Cody?
Optics. I just thought of having the optics of Big E induct a Hulk Hogan.
Or Mark Henry. They can bring in Mark Henry to do it.
God.
Mark Henry would do it is the crazy thing.
Mark Henry would do it just to bury Hogan one more time.
Yeah.
And I dare anyone to go out on that stage and try to get Mark Henry to shut up.
I thought of a name, but he works for AEW, so it can't happen. I thought a Big Show personally, but I don't think that'll happen.
No.
It probably, Bischoff, Cody Rhodes, maybe.
I just thought of an outside name.
Who?
Paul Heyman.
Oh.
I can see that.
Wrestling historian was in the business when this went down.
That makes sense.
You know, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's often compared to Bobby Heenan as being the greatest manager of all time.
Right.
Wait, was commentary for this? Oh, never mind. Jesse Ventura wouldn't do it.
Oh God, no.
Because I just thought the commentary team for this match was Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But Jesse wouldn't do it.
Jesse wouldn't do it. He hates Hogan.
Jesse would bury Hogan.
Yeah.
More than fun to say.
I mean, if the speech could just be like a Andre love fest, like that'd be cool. But
right.
I think that would be the good political route. But I think with Hogan dying, not even a year ago, you gotta include Hogan. I think they got to be very careful with how they transverse this too, because there was a lot of concerns going into this match.
Like what?
They didn't think Andre was going to do the job.
Yeah. I remember that.
I've never believed that.
I genuinely
worried about that.
I agree with you, man. I think Andre was always going to do business.
Yeah. I think that's something Hogan made up.
No, I never gave credence to it until Bobby Heenan in a shoot interview said he didn't even know.
Yeah, but I
I'm
remember, wasn't Vince asked about this in the Andre documentary, and Vince was like, "Yeah, like Andre was going to do business no matter
The
what."
issue wasn't is Andre going to do business. The issue was Andre going to let Hogan slam him?
Yeah, because Hogan famously says that like Andre was walking towards him and he just goes slam, and then he did it.
Yeah, because and that was supposed to be the end of the match, and Hogan has said at that point in time, brother, if I wanted to slam him, I could slam him. No,
okay.
you couldn't.
Okay.
No.
Hogan, if Andre the Giant even then didn't want to do anything for you in that match,
Oh,
Right.
right.
you weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. That's what pisses me off about this match is Andre doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Yeah.
Hogan gets all these flowers on it, but it's like, no, Andre could have very easily deep sixed this.
Oh yeah, he could have dead weighted him and not.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's also too. I remember at the time them making a big deal about it's the first time Hogan's ever slammed Andre, which is not true. Actually,
it wasn't. It was like the third or fourth time he's done it.
Andy's 10 years undefeated, and
right, yeah.
And like in WWE, in like the WWF territory, isn't that true though?
Right.
He took losses outside of the WWE space.
Right. AWA, I think.
Right.
And
Japan
wherever else.
or
Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of within the WWF universe at the time.
And the dirt sheets weren't what they were like even 5 years later.
Yeah.
So it was feasible that, and what kid is gonna argue that point?
Well, I remember arguing.
That's what I'm saying. You look at Andre, friends. Like, yeah.
Because I would read about it in the after mags. I would read, before we had the internet, I would read the after mags at the convenience store at the end of my street and read all about all the times that Hogan had slammed Andre in the past and how many losses Andre had. I think Jerry the King Lawler beat Andre once in Memphis, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course he did. Yeah, of course it was in Memphis. Yeah. Yeah, you weren't
pinned him and everything.
You weren't. Oh, he pinned him. Even better. Yeah, you weren't beating Jerry in Memphis.
Right. Yeah.
For those of you that are watching and care, Austin, I'm sure you will. Yeah. Start of the fourth quarter. It is 30 South Carolina 32, UCLA 61 in the women's national title game.
Whoa.
What sport is that?
Women's basketball, and it is a shocker. No one saw this coming.
WNBA?
No, that's professional. This is college. March Madness, Matt.
Oh, March Madness. It's April. What's going on here? This is very confusing.
All right, main event time.
I'm so confused.
Credit to Hogan and Andre. Not a great match, but a good. It
deserves. For its impact.
Yes.
It deserves
significance.
It deserves flowers, but it's not even it is awful.
Yeah, the match itself is terrible. Absolutely.
Drizzling shits.
Absolutely. Well, all right. Off to the main event we go. WrestleMania 5.
Matt, this is your pick.
This was my pick. The Mega Powers Explode.
Yes, WrestleMania 5. The Mega Powers Explode.
I was so into this when I was a kid.
Austin, run it down for us.
This show took place on April 2nd, 1989. It was in Atlantic City, back at Trump Plaza for the second year in a row. Attendance was 18,946, which I assume is a sellout.
It is.
And if Cage Match is to be believed, this is the first WrestleMania to be on pay-per-view because the buy rate was a 6.01.
Not only was it on pay-per-view, but at that time, they were doing something called, Austin, you might be young enough. You don't even know what this is. Eric will know, I assume. Closed circuit TV. Are you guys familiar with that?
Yep.
I've heard of the term. I've never experienced it.
Basically, they would air the event in an arena, and you would buy a ticket into the arena, and it was cheaper than pay-per-view.
Right. Well, not only
of watching it at home.
Well, not only arenas, so or even in theaters. And so part of why WrestleMania 5 is so important to me and why it's so special to me, I mean, part of it's obvious, the main event, you know, Macho Man Randy Savage, my all-time favorite. But also, so when I was a kid, my friends and I bought tickets to go watch WrestleMania 5 at a place called the Capitol Theater in Concord, New Hampshire. It's about a half hour north of where I am now. That's where I grew up, in Concord. And so we actually watched WrestleMania 5. And I think it was sold out at the theater too, because we got our tickets in advance. I'm pretty sure it was sold out there. The Capitol Theater, probably, I don't even know what it holds, but not a lot. But we went and watched it there on this giant screen.
Cool.
And it was, it's one of my cherished childhood memories.
Austin, here our spot was the Paramount Theater.
Oh, okay. So they did that there. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but they do that now at movie theaters again. You can go and watch WWE
that's where they got the idea from. Is closed circuit. Now it's more like, now it's more of a business.
Yeah.
Then it was more of a way for middle class and low income households to be able to see the event and generate more revenue from a larger audience base.
Yeah.
Right.
That now it's a full-blown business. You pay like $14 to go see it in the theater. This was like $2 to $5.
Yeah. And I don't remember what my friends and I paid, but I'm sure it was quite cheap. You know, we were kids, you know, we didn't have a lot of money.
I always thought the idea of closed circuit TV was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. And it gave theaters the ability to make money off big name events, off of concessions, and you didn't have the pay-per-view feed. It was a direct feed from the satellite.
Right.
Yeah. So you didn't have to worry about the cable company failing.
Right. That's true.
You got the direct feed, because back then cable companies would fail on these pay-per-views and would offer you no money back.
Typical cable company.
Yeah, it was you paid for the event, and if it failed, they're like, oh well, you can order the replay.
Yeah.
So you buy it again. And there was like an actual, and I'm sure Matt remembers this. This is way too young for you, Austin. That there was a Supreme Court hearing over it. That basically cable users sued cable companies over pay-per-view failures. They accused them of basically taking these big events and having technical issues to beef up sales. And they were actually found guilty of it.
Yeah.
It was class action. Like, there was millions paid out in this.
That's funny.
So basically it neutered the cable companies. And I think like this is around the time it started. The rumors started after, I want to say, WrestleMania 6.
The rumors,
like people like it getting traction, like commentators saying, like, oh, they're doing this to make extra money. And so
I have a young person question. So when Mania moved to like pay-per-view and like all this other stuff, how did you get pay-per-view in your house?
We had these things called landline telephones.
Yeah, I remember those.
Okay, that's a key part to this. You
gotta call it. Okay. I get what you're going.
You're literally call, like everyone's like, oh, Mean Gene Okerlund's using hyperbole when he says, call your cable provider today.
Yeah.
No, you literally had to call your cable provider and order WrestleMania.
Yep.
Okay. Because during when
that's why they called it that's why they called it
okay, because when pay-per-view was like, when I was introduced to pay-per-view, it was like on my channel guide, like through my cable.
Right.
So you could just go to the channel that it was on.
You actually had to
pay
pick
for
up
it
the
that
phone
way.
call, and they would run through events, and you had to press the number for the event you wanted to watch.
Yep.
Oh my, that sounds awful.
Press 1 to order Mike Tyson versus Riddick Bowe.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
awful.
Then
Yeah.
they play music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Press 2 to order World Championship Wrestling. Starcade 89.
Yeah. That's how it works.
Wow.
It-
I would
it's-
never order a pay-per-view in that time
Think
period.
about, and also think about that pay-per-view showed movies then too. And
Yeah,
it would be
true.
in
Oh.
some providers, it would be in alphabetical order.
Oh,
So
that's
you had
awful.
to sit there and get to the W's.
W's. Oh man, you'd be there for a half hour.
Kill the lunch break.
It's
Yeah.
one of those things where, you know, as a Gen Xer, my generation is really the last generation to grow up without the internet. And when I think back to my childhood, a lot of it seems surreal to me. It almost seems
Yeah.
like I didn't live that existence, like it's a dream, because it's hard for my brain now to even
Yeah.
fully
Almost
comprehend that that's what life was then, pre-internet.
Just
You know what I
thought
mean?
of this. How many pay-per-view sales do you think these events lost of people being on the phone and they're just like,
Oh,
F
sure.
this?
Oh, sure.
Because
Yeah.
ordering pay-per-view now is so easy. It's like 3 clicks and you already bought it. Like
Oh, yeah.
that's how it
Yeah.
is. Like, oh man.
It's crazy. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, your mom, Austin, used to get mad when she had to call and order pay-per-views for me.
Oh,
Really?
because I remember when I used to like con them into buying pay-per-views.
No, she had to
it
get
was just
on
a
the
channel
phone.
guide.
And I would just hear a string of God damn it and like Austin's laughing because he knows it happened.
Absolutely.
What? Why do I have to fucking sit here? No, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yep. You call and you give them your credit card and the whole deal. Oh, yeah.
No, you would charge it to your bill.
Oh, that's
okay.
true. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Charge
you're
it
right.
to your bill.
It'd show up on your cable
And
bill.
then,
That's true.
Like, damn it, I'll do it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Those were
Yeah.
the days. But anyway, that's one of the reasons WrestleMania 5 is because that's the only time my friends and I ever did that, was to watch that, where we went to
That's
our
cool.
closed circuit. Yeah, it was
I
fun.
went back and watched it this week, and there is one word that just annoys one wrestling saying that just annoys the ever-loving hell out of me.
Yeah.
I heard
is
it
it?
so
I might-
much
Because I might say it. I
during
don't know.
this card.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was just so pissed off.
Yeah.
Tag team specialists.
The Rockers.
Oh my God.
Oh, what a
Rockers.
great match, though.
Tell me
That is
that
good.
a team that you don't think a team has a snowball's chance in hell. Oh,
Yeah.
they're tag team specialists.
Yeah. You'll never see them apart. You'll never see them in a You'll
Yeah,
never
like-
see Shawn Michaels in a singles match. He's a tag team specialist.
These guys are together for life.
And then 2 years later, Marty Jannetty meet Window.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, wow, this Shawn Michaels guy is actually really good. We should do something.
Yeah, like it was.
There's a lot of tag team matches on this
There
show.
is, and they're all mostly good, except the Bushwhackers and the
Oh,
Fabulous
man.
Rougeaus.
Oh
So-
man.
I like that match only because I never liked the Bushwhackers. I never got it. I thought, even when I was a kid, I thought it was stupid, but I really liked the Fabulous Rougeaus as heels. I like that gimmick. I thought it was funny. And the match is mercifully short, but it's not very good. No.
And Kevin.
I never understood the Bushwhackers.
Yeah, me neither.
They're-
I
they're
thought
a
it was
comedy
dumb.
gimmick.
Yeah, but like, what's
Actually,
the comedy part?
in the AWA? They were a really.
I've
good,
seen that. I've seen their work in the AWA, and it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, when they were the sheep herders.
Yeah, I never understood.
That's what they were called. Yeah.
yeah.
I never understood why you have them. I guess I've heard Bruce Pritchard say they moved a lot of merch.
Well, I do believe that because I imagine they
They're
appealed
popular.
to very young children.
Yeah.
But to me, I was like, what? They
Watching-
come out and they go, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
wa-
okay, who
wa-
gives a shit?
Watching this show, the Bushwhackers theme hits, and the crowd loses their minds.
Yeah.
And I was
Like,
like, wow.
And I
Okay.
guess when you look at the climate of WWE tag team
Yeah.
at this point,
It was very cartoonish.
no, I'm gonna go even deeper than that. You had the teeny bopper group, the Rockers.
Yep.
You had the Monster Heels Demolition.
Mm-hmm.
No, well, not at that point. They were baby faces at that
Yeah,
point.
you have
the Twin Towers.
the Nightmare. Okay, you have Demolition, the
Yep.
Bad Boy Good Team.
It's a crazy
You
name
have
for
the
a tag team.
Powers of
Looking back.
Pain, the Nightmare Tag Team. Then you have the technical team that is the Heart Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Bushwhack. You gotta have a comedy team, so I guess the Bushwhackers fit into that niche.
And the Rougeaus, I mean, they were a comedy team at that point too. Although, except they could actually wrestle.
Yeah,
Jock
the
and
Rougeaus
Raymond.
could. And Raymond is the reason why Dynamite Kid lost his balls, essentially.
Mm.
What?
Do you know? You don't know that, man?
I guess I don't.
Raymond was, oh, holy shit. I gotta tell a story Matt doesn't know.
Apparently.
So, Dynamite, Austin, you know this story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
so
do.
If I mess up any of it, please jump in. Basically, Dynamite Kid was a notorious ribber.
That I knew.
Not
Not in a fun way either,
No.
necessarily. He was an
violent.
asshole.
For some reason, he went after one of the Rougeaus consistently. And I think it was Raymond. I think it was Raymond.
Well, wasn't it Jacques? Wasn't it Jacques the one that Dynamite Kid was like
Jacques.
ribbing on heavy?
Yeah, it was one of the Rougeaus.
Okay.
I will say Jacques, but if anyone out there, if I'm wrong, please go into the chat. Let me know. Be legit about it. So what? Jim Neidhart tells him, "You got to stand up for yourself. You can't let him get away with this." So the Rougeau tells Dynamite, "Hey, you keep fucking with me, I'm gonna knock you out." And Dynamite at the time was thought of as a locker room tough guy.
Yeah.
You know, he was a badass. And so they're on a loop. One of the shows, Dynamite ribs him again. And he's like, "I've had it." So he takes a roll of quarters, puts it in his fist, walks up and goes, "I told you to stop messing with me." Balls up his fist and bam! Just
kills him with it.
Kills him with it. Not breaks Dynamite's jaw, busts his
teeth. Okay, now the story is familiar. His teeth, yeah.
Just one punch and Dynamite hits the ground.
Yeah.
And blood everywhere. Like many guys have told this story.
Yeah.
Like at first you hear it from like someone in there, you're like, "Oh, they're exaggerating." No, it was a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Like, and just punked Dynamite out. And it really ended Dynamite. Like it had psychological effects on him.
Yeah. I've heard the story about the teeth. So when you said balls, you weren't speaking literally.
I mean,
I thought maybe you were going to say he took the quarters and punched him in the balls.
No, figuratively.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, because the British Bulldogs don't really last much longer. After.
No,
yeah,
because Dynamite, no one would put up with this crap anymore.
Yeah, he was not a nice guy.
He would no Dynamite,
terrible
piece of crap, human being.
Yeah.
There's a dark side of the ring about him that really hammers home how much of a piece of crap he was.
It's bad.
What?
It's bad. Like that dark side of the ring episode is
There's
bad.
Stuff I didn't know that came out in that episode that I'm like, what? Like, if he wouldn't have been paralyzed, he probably would have been Chris Benoit. He probably would have killed his wife. Like, that's the level of just insecurity the guy had.
Yeah.
And addiction to drugs and steroids and painkillers.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
I'm looking at this card, and this card is like like very
Very
spread
long.
out,
There's
very-
a lot of matches.
Yeah, honestly, the order is very odd because the opener of this show is Hercules and King Haku.
Yeah.
Versus King Haku. But then the next match is Twin Towers versus the Rockers. Now, if I was putting together a card, I would have the Rockers
Match
come out
would have been
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have the Rockers out there first to get the crowd fired up.
That was my second favorite match on the show. Obviously, the main event's my favorite, but I love that match, the Rockers versus the Twin Towers.
It is good.
I love that
It is
match.
good.
My favorite match might shock you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rick Rude in Ultimate Warrior.
Not,
I think
Not-
it's Ultimate Warrior's best, one of his best matches.
I agree with you, Eric. Actually, I agree with you because of Rick Rude, not because of
It's
Ultimate
not-
Warrior.
oh
but
yeah,
Rick
And
Rude was so
Bobby
good.
Yeah.
Heenan. Oh my God! If you want to give an example to aspiring heel managers, Bobby Heenan at the end of that match, the nuance to A, hook the foot, and
Yeah.
B, get as low as you can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, it was brilliant storytelling.
Yeah.
I think it's not my favorite Ultimate Warrior match. It's definitely up there though. But
Yeah.
it's good. For a Warrior match, it's really good.
It
Yeah.
also gives credence to, I never understood why they didn't have Rude go over at SummerSlam 14 months later.
When
the cage
Warrior had the WWE title.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
In the cage match. Yeah.
I think Rude, and no one can, don't at me, you're not going to convince me. Rude should have went over. Because then I think you can book Warrior differently. And it wouldn't, I mean, it might have still been the catastrophic failure it was because of who Warrior was. But I think it might have been entertaining longer. Because you can't have a champion that just blows through everyone.
Yeah.
You
Right.
can't have it. You gotta have that they could lose. Like even when you have them on Superstars fighting the Brooklyn Brawler, you need to have that smidge of a thought. They could lose this match
Yeah.
in order for it to work. If you
But-
don't have that, no one's going to pay to watch. No one's going to pay to go see them live.
But I thought in this match, I mean, Rick Rude, in looking back at it, I had kind of forgotten just how good he really was. I mean, that
So
missile, he does a missile drop kick off the top rope. He looks like he kills Warrior with it. I mean, it's so good. Like he really, because a guy with his build, especially at that time, a guy with his build, you didn't expect to see them flying off the top rope like that.
Right.
And he didn't do it a lot. He used it sparingly. But when he did it, it looked fantastic.
When Rick Rude, before his back injury, and people are like, oh, in wrestling, I hear all the time before the injury. No, Rick Rude is a prime example of this.
Yeah.
Everything was flawless.
Mhm.
Rick Rude, you could argue, from his debut on up to the back injury in Japan against Sting, and Rick Rude, I think, unfairly blamed Sting for the injury for the longest time.
I do too.
It was just an accident.
Yeah.
They happen, and it's unfortunate. But Rick was probably the best worker in professional wrestling with Kurt Hennig and Randy Savage. Those three were head and shoulders above anyone else, even above Flair in WCW. And at that time, Flair was redlining it all the time.
Yeah.
And I would put Ric Flair, I would put Rick Rude over Ric Flair as the best worker at that time. He was so good. And like, he could always get a decent match out of Warrior because Rick Rude was a legit tough guy. Rick Rude, if you screwed up in the ring, you were getting stiffed.
There's another match too, which I kind of feel about similarly, because I agree with what you were saying, Eric. Brutus Beefcake versus Ted DiBiase. DiBiase also was so good, and Beefcake is there, but DiBiase was so good, like he could work with anybody, and he was ahead of his time, man. Ted DiBiase.
I don't think DiBiase gets the credit he deserves for
I
how
agree.
good he was.
I agree.
Ted was such a great heel. And, we circle back to our WrestleMania 4 episode where you guys just flamed me for saying this. The wrong guy won.
Because we don't get this match that on the top of the screen.
Yes, you do. You can still get this match here.
Yeah, you can still get there, but
look, I liked Ted DiBiase, but he's not winning.
You still get here. Maybe it's hurt a little bit because of the lack of the 1-year build, but you still get here. You could have Ted DiBiase have the title for 2 weeks, have him drop it on Night Titans for all I care.
Yeah.
Hell.
Yeah. Yeah. But I thought the match was good because of DiBiase, and like I said, you've got Beefcake is serviceable, I guess would be the term.
Beefcake is never serviceable.
He's there for sure.
He's there.
The fact that he main evented a WCW pay-per-view,
a Starrcade.
A Starrcade, their WrestleMania. And Brutus Beefcake is in the main event. That should have told you this company was doomed.
Well, you almost had a Freudian slip there. Let's see.
Our country's doomed as well, but we're not getting into that here.
We also had on this card Mr. Perfect versus the Blue Blazer.
This is Owen Hart, right?
This is Owen Hart's WrestleMania debut.
Yeah.
Should have been a longer match. I would have loved to have seen a longer match. But
I would say it only went 5 minutes. Are you kidding me?
Well,
a lot of these matches are very short, but they tried to cram so much in. A lot of them are only 5 or 6 minutes.
The main thing at this point in time with WWF is all these guys basically worked all year for the Mania payday.
Yeah.
Like you could, if you were on the Mania card, you could take 3-4 months off and live.
Yeah.
And get injuries fixed, spend time with your family.
Right.
So they wanted to get as many guys on these old cards as they could.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Also another match on the card I really like, the Brainbusters versus Strike Force. Much as I always found Strike Force a little bit unbearable, a little too cheesy for me, Strike Force and all that. But although I do love Tito Santana and Rick Martel, I just was never crazy about Strike Force.
That theme music is so annoying.
Oh, Girls in Cars by who did that? Was it Dan Fogerty or somebody that their theme song Girls in Cars, which was very cringe.
Sounds like a Jimmy Hart song.
He might have written it, but somebody else sang it.
Jimmy Hart probably was in on it.
Probably, yeah.
Girls in
Cars.
Not
a Jim Johnson original.
Girls in Cars, yeah. Oh, there was a music video for it and everything. It was very, very cringe. And of course, we also see Strike Force, the beginning of the end for Strike Force. But I love the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, of course. I love them in WWE at that time.
Their run in WWF is the what if.
Oh, yeah.
Should be talked about a lot more.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, just the stories you hear about the Brainbusters and was it Tully's failed drug test, or was it Tully demanding more money and Arn bailing on him, and there's so many stories. I tend to believe, given what we know about Tully Blanchard now, it was a failed drug test. I think Tully.
Yeah. I believe it.
Tully failed the drug test. And he had burnt bridges in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with being a tag team is you can't, in these days, you can't expect your partner to starve with you.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, your partner's good. Like, I gotta eat.
Yeah.
My kids need clothes, you know? Like,
Yep.
what do you want? What would you have me do?
Right. Right. We did mention, something interesting too, because we touched on it. Demolition versus Powers of Pain. This card actually had two prominent managers in the ring, because during this match, it was a handicap match. You had Mr. Fuji, who I thought looked pretty good in there. Mr. Fuji managing the Powers of Pain. So it was a 3-on-2.
Getting the pin.
What's that?
Didn't he get the pin?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuji got the pin.
Yep. Yep.
Fuji
And-
Stooge.
And then you got Red Rooster versus Bobby Heenan.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
Bobby
dear.
Heenan, who was not feeling well at that point because he'd been dropped on his head earlier by the
Because he
Ultimate
got-
Warrior,
He got stiffed by the Ultimate Warrior.
which he
Oh.
complained about in many shoot interviews.
Yeah.
So you watched that bump, and
It's brutal looking.
It's rough,
Heenan
yeah.
had neck problems to
Yeah.
begin with.
Because didn't he land on his side? Like he didn't
Yeah, he
like
didn't
the way
land
Warrior
Warrior
dropped
did-
him.
properly.
Warrior did not take care of him at all because he
He-
lifted him and just dropped him.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit. Like
No
Terrible.
fucks given.
Yeah.
no, just dropped him. Let's see. Oh, there was Dino Bravo versus Ronnie Garvin, which I was
Oh,
not
dear
into.
God.
Couldn't have cared less about either of
You
them.
could have cut that match and given it to, I mean, you could have given it to Henning and Owen, Blue Blazer, but at that time they were trying to build up Kurt Henning as this athletic specimen that could never lose.
Yeah, 'cause Perfect, I assume, didn't like this is right around his debut, I would imagine. Right?
Yeah, did he still had Coach as
Yeah.
his manager?
Yeah. That
Is that
didn't
right?
last. That didn't last long.
No, and as it, Bobby Heenan was perfect for Mr. Perfect.
I agree.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Hart Foundation versus Rhythm and Blues, who, by the way, were not actually Rhythm and Blues yet, which is interesting. The Honky Tonk Man and Greg Valentine had not
Valentine
become
didn't have the black hair.
they had not become formally a tag team yet. This was like one of their first outings as a tag team, and of course, the Hart Foundation. We love the Hart Foundation. My favorite tag team of all time.
I think if I'm looking at this card, you could have cut the Bravo Garvin match.
Oh yeah.
Bad News and Jim Duggan.
Yeah, that match is useless. A double DQ. It was 4 minutes. Useless. Pointless.
No reason.
Yeah,
You could have cut the Bushwhackers and the Fabulous Rougeos.
absolutely.
And given more time to, given that time to Perfect Blue Blazer and the Twin Towers and the Rockers, I think.
Yeah.
And you could have cut Hercules and King Haku.
Yeah, that match was pretty useless as well.
Because
Although I was kind of into Hercules as a babyface. I don't know why, but
Because if we're looking at like even Hogan and Savage for Mania main event standards,
It's under 20 minutes.
it doesn't even go like super long.
well, Hogan probably doesn't. I mean, Hogan never wanted to do long matches anyway, though. I mean, Savage probably could have gone an hour.
Austin
Yeah.
would have been that guy watching this live, like, oh, they're going 25-30. They're going Broadway.
No,
I definitely do that watching old shows and Hogan comes on and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man, like we're about to be here for a while.
The entrance is longer than the match.
one other.
I
Oh, I'm
do
sorry,
say
go
though, this like the entrances for Hogan and Savage are really cool.
Wait,
with the-
before we get to that though, Austin, not to interrupt, but because I am eager to talk about it. But one other match that we didn't mention on the undercard, Jake Roberts versus Andre the Giant.
I love that match.
Yeah,
It
Andre.
is it's such a good story told. And this is what you do if a guy can't work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
Now,
very
You tell a good story. And Jake said in his one night, in his stand-up shows, that Andre was legitimately afraid of the snake.
yeah.
yeah,
Andre was legit scared of this snake.
I would have been.
If Jake had it out in the locker room, he'd be like, "Oh, no snake!"
Yeah. he would make Jake get it out of the room or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, remember what the snake did to Savage, like as a shoot. So Sinking
Oh,
those.
what the Snake did to Savage. What about what Savage did to Jake?
Yeah, you got to get bitten first, brother.
Yeah.
Huh?
Things have happened.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
What the?
But it's
What
very,
was
you know,
doing?
it's a very realistic setup for a match. Like the guy just doesn't like snakes.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
like-
Yeah, very common phobia.
And they get a great match out of it. And Jake is probably one of the best in-ring psychologists.
Oh yeah.
Ever. Because those nuances, like everyone bashes the blindfold match he had with Rick Martel.
Yeah.
And as they should, but it's passable because of Jake.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And the psychology of the DDT, like everyone talks about the diamond cutter coming out of nowhere, the RKO. Jake started that with finishers, because with finishers, there was always this build. You built up to finishers. There was always teases involved. Not with Jake.
Yeah.
The DDT, it could come out of nowhere.
Right. And often did. Yeah. Very true. Very true. Oh, and one other thing too. I think we referenced it, but the Red Rooster defeated Bobby Heenan with the Brooklyn Brawler in Bobby Heenan's corner in 30 seconds. It's a quick match. Another one they could have just cut because nobody cared.
I am not a fan of Terry Taylor.
I get the impression nobody actually likes him.
I don't think anyone does.
He remains employed. He always has a job in wrestling, but I don't think anyone actually likes him. It's weird.
He hasn't just been an over asshole like John Laurinaitis.
Didn't he train Triple H?
No, he didn't. That was Killer Kowalski that trained Triple H. He had Triple H's first match with him in WCW and almost got Triple H fired.
Oh.
Because Triple H lied about how long he'd been working.
Oh.
And Terry Taylor cornered him and said, how long you been working for?
Yeah.
And Triple H told him, and he goes, how long have you really been working for?
Yeah.
This is why he will always have a job, is because Triple H feels indebted to him, because he could have Triple H out and
gotcha.
Then it's done. Terrorizing would have been no more.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
That is one of my favorite Triple H stories ever.
I didn't know. I'd never heard that story. I didn't know that.
This one is, your name is Terrorizing. No, what's my last name? Killer Kowalski gave him that name, and he goes, what do you mean?
Oh.
And he goes, no, I have a first name, I have a last name. And he goes, oh, first name Terra, last name Rising.
Yeah.
Terra Rising.
And I actually remember seeing Terra Rising on WCW Saturday night. I actually remember that.
And then Ric Flair gave him Jean-Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
He's like, Levesque is a common name in New Hampshire. You're French now.
That's true. It is true, though. It is a very common name here. Yeah. We have a lot of French.
Like, it's very common. And he goes, do you know French? No. Do you have an accent? No. Well, go shoot tapings with a French accent.
Yeah. Which he never did manage. Okay, so
he did.
so then we have our main event, the Mega Powers Explode. I was so into this. This was not the first storyline I'd ever become invested in growing up. Yeah. That was probably Hogan Andre, but this was the first one I ever was really invested in. Yeah. I was so into this.
You want to talk about a story.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
A great story. And they never had a face-to-face confrontation.
Yeah.
Outside of the Saturday night's main event where Savage blindsided him and Hogan assaulted Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart in the hallway.
Right.
But yeah, it was all done. I never realized this till I heard Bruce Pritchard talk about WrestleMania 5.
Yeah.
It was all done through editing. you look at the tape and you're like, oh, yeah, Hogan's lusting over Liz. But then you see Hogan's angle the next week and you're like, oh, I see it differently now. And it really was the first rivalry that I can remember that blurred that line between babyface and heel.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, though, to me, and I remember kind of even picking up on this when I was a kid, and I felt like some of my friends didn't quite get it, but I noticed a pattern, and maybe this was the beginning of, well, no, this wasn't the beginning of it, because you can actually trace it back to like Orndorff and probably even further than that. There was this thing, this formula with Hogan where when one of his friends would turn on him and become a heel and then feud with Hogan, they always left that door a little bit open where if you wanted to, you could kind of sympathize with the villain a little bit. You could always kind of see, well, okay, he's bad now. He's all of a sudden he's evil, but he does kind of have a point. Hogan is kind of a glory hog and his ego is out of control and everything. Some of what the heel is saying about the babyface here is kind of valid. So to me, but this was kind of the ultimate, to what you were saying, Eric, to your point, this was kind of the ultimate example of that where, and if you're someone like me who, whether Savage was babyface or heel, I was always team Savage no matter what, because he's my favorite ever. I was very into, Savage is right. Hogan's a prick. And of course he had his hand on Elizabeth's ass and this and that, of course. And I was with Savage all the way, but but this is a great example of that.
I changed my loyalties midway through this rivalry.
Really?
Yeah. I was a Hogan guy.
Really?
Up until the Randy Savage promo, where he's just drenched in sweat or
that is
oil.
Such a good promo.
And he's
yes.
Incredible
Hogan, I hate your guts. I hate you so much. You and your little pukamaniacs. And I'm like, I don't want to be a pukamaniac.
Nope.
That doesn't sound fun.
Oh,
and
Savage was so intense.
I got a bunch of pukesters to my left and a bunch of pukesters to my right.
And I'm like,
didn't need him then, don't need him now. So good.
That's awesome. That's
so
awesome.
good.
You're sitting like, everyone sits here. Now they would the IWC would rip apart that promo. Because they're like, it doesn't make sense. And it's like the guy had a promo with Coffee Creamer.
Yes.
Like, what do you...
It's one of his better promos, too, which is the crazy part.
No, the best is when he has the promo with the broom.
Yeah.
Every promo, though. I mean, one of the best well, to me, again, it's one of the reasons he's my favorite. To me, he was the best promo ever.
Yeah. I give best mic man. Savage is up there, but I got to go Piper. Piper, the man.
Yeah.
Outside of partial blackface.
We'll have to circle back. You mentioning Piper, we totally forgot to talk about the segment, Piper Brother Love. Let's circle back to that though at the end, because that is worth talking about that. But I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt what we're doing. But
I thought the entrances for Hogan and Savage were really cool here. Like Savage looks like a star. He looks like a champion.
Mm-hmm.
Then the super narrow aisleways, real American hits, and like people are like falling over the barricades just trying to touch Hogan.
Yeah.
You could tell there was a solid division within the audience.
Yeah.
And that I think makes it so much better.
Yeah.
You could hear boos for Hogan.
Yeah.
When I saw this at the Capitol Theater with my friends, that's how it was in the theater. Like that was a split crowd. It really was.
Yeah.
And I think that everyone sits there and says that the steroid trial was the beginning of the end for Hulkamania in WWF. No, I think WrestleMania 5 was the beginning of the end. And I think WrestleMania 6 shut the casket on it. Because you had, and I dare say, the wrong guy won this event.
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, obviously, like I said, I was on Team Savage, but I actually had a moment of hope I'll never forget this, even though I knew, and look, even as a kid, obviously I was savvy enough to know Hogan's going over. I
Yeah.
I knew what was going to happen. I knew my guy was losing going into it. But there's that moment where Savage, and it's one of his best elbow drops too. I mean, his elbow drop was always really good, but when Savage hits that elbow drop on Hogan, I was expecting Hogan to roll out of the way. Hogan doesn't roll out of the way. Savage connects. And for just a second, I thought, wait a minute, are they going to let Savage win? Yeah. But even as that thought was going through my mind, I thought, nah, Hogan's going to kick out. That's what they're doing. They just want to make it more dramatic. And sure enough, that's exactly what happens. Hogan kicks out, he hulks up, he does the thing, and he wins. But I remember having that little tiny glimmer of hope just for a second. Are they actually going to let Savage win this one?
Right. Yeah.
But it was not to be.
Of course not. Yeah. Miss Elizabeth getting her own entrance, I thought was very funny.
Yep.
It makes sense, but it was funny.
Yep.
I could have went without that.
And
really,
every time Savage had Hogan down, he always looked at Elizabeth and like pointed at her.
That was awesome. And I liked how Liz's facial expression sold it too.
Yes, she was excellent.
She would look a little bit more concerned for Hulk. And then she did Randy. And you're like, Randy was right, damn it.
And there's even a moment the nuance and everything is really good, really sophisticated storytelling, especially for at that time when a lot of things were just very simple. There's that moment where Elizabeth actually kind of gets in the way because she doesn't want Hogan to, they're on the outside of the ring and Hogan's about to hit Randy, and Elizabeth kind of gets in the way because Randy's bleeding and she's actually concerned, and it's just all really, really well done.
It's
because Hogan wasn't exactly a baby face in that match, and
not really,
so it was all just really well done.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong guy won, but I'm a Savage fan, so I want to say that. But I don't know. I mean, Hogan's got a pose, I guess.
And at that time too, the babyface always won at WrestleMania. Got to send him home happy. So
Well, they're obvious, and like looking a year ahead, it's obvious that they were setting up Hogan and Warrior.
Right.
I don't care about the babyface thing. I think that is about the dumbest argument you can have.
Yeah, but that was a philosophy Vince followed for a long time.
Well, Vince also thinks it's okay to poop on women.
Yeah, I mean Vince changed his mind eventually. Triple H was the first heel to go over at WrestleMania.
And that was a dumb decision. You guys aren't helping your case. Look, I think that send them home happy is the dumbest philosophy ever, because at that time WCW didn't follow that philosophy and they were successful.
Flair was winning all the time.
Right. Like
you would they would finally have Dusty win or Luger or Sting, but when you did, that moment was bigger than it's WrestleMania and Matt's walking into the Capitol Theater. My guy's gonna lose. WCW didn't know.
Right.
You didn't know. If you were a Dusty fan walking into Starrcade 84, you didn't know if he was going to go over on Flair.
Right.
So that's one of the many philosophies in pro wrestling that are just so stupid.
Well, it did change. It did change eventually.
Has it really?
Well, yeah. Sometimes the heel goes over in the main event at WrestleMania.
Okay, but
Roman won like 3 years in a row while he was the tribal chief.
Yeah. It's not like it used to be.
But I don't know. I guess it's changed in the sense heels and faces, they can be interchangeable.
John Cena won just last year.
They can. That's my point. It can be interchangeable even within the match. Hogan Rock, prime example.
Yeah.
So the line is more blurred, but this wrong guy won. I think you have Savage win, and then you write Hogan off.
Well, I don't think Vince was ready to do that. I think Hogan was still pretty hot at this time.
Okay, but Randy went as a champion for 1 year.
Right.
And houses didn't suffer. Ratings didn't suffer.
Hogan was always still around though too, and that might be how Vince was looking at it.
You can look at it like that all you want, but the top guy is what sells.
And was Savage even really, and again, I hate to say this because he's my favorite, but was Savage really even the top guy? Because even though he's champion,
No.
he wasn't really treated like the top guy.
Savage was doing the house show loops. Hogan had sat out. So
Yeah, but when Hogan was on the house show loops, his match was last over Savage.
Yes. Hogan was always present, and on television, Hogan was still presented as the top star. He really was.
And that's so unfair to Randy.
Oh, I agree. I hated that.
I agree.
That annoyed the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I think if you wanna buck a trend, you do it in a spot like this, and this would have been the perfect spot to do it.
I even remember this detail. The first Saturday night's main event with Macho Man as champion, the last scene, because up until that point, Hogan was always in the last scene during the theme music. The last scene of the theme music with Macho Man as champion was Hogan pointing up at Macho Man, but Hogan is still in front.
Hogan was like forward, yeah. So like, come on.
And I remember watching that and saying, "Oh, I get it. I get it. I see how this is going to go."
I think you could have told so many better stories with Randy than you could Hogan.
I agree there. I agree.
I think you could have done Rude in Savage. That would have fed families until Royal Rumble the next year.
Mm-hmm.
You could have gotten Savage and Warrior a year earlier at Mania.
It
wouldn't have been.
If Savage holds on the belt for that long.
I mean, now you would have had to turn Savage or you would have had to turn Rude, but you could have gotten there. It would have been easier to turn Savage than Rude.
But with Savage and Warrior, Savage was a heel here, so you wouldn't have to turn anybody.
But I'm saying if they went my route of fantasy booking Rude and Savage.
Too soon to turn Savage at that point.
Yeah, you would turn Savage.
Have to immediately turn him. That wouldn't make sense. Anyway,
Macho Man stays a heel for a long time after this.
Yeah,
it's not until
Cherry.
It's not until he retires.
Oh,
he brings in Zeus.
Yes.
Yeah.
No Holds Barred, the movie, the match, $9.99. Get it on pay-per-view.
Yeah. Oh, this is awful.
How dare you besmirch the name of No Holds Barred?
It's such a good movie.
Rest in peace, Tiny Lister.
Yeah, it's such a great film. Matt, have you watched it yet?
We've had this discussion. I've never watched it all the way through.
Matt, you gotta.
I can't. For free on YouTube.
No. I wouldn't watch it with a goat. I wouldn't watch it on a boat. I wouldn't watch it, whatever. No.
Did you watch it in a moat?
No.
Wow.
No. I will not watch it, Sam. I am. I don't care. A lot of things are free. I mean, I want them. Lots of things are free. Anything else to say on the main event? Because I do want to circle back to Piper and one other thing I have to mention just briefly.
I want to say it's the best match of Hogan's WWF career, and it's all due to Macho Man Randy Savage.
I agree 100%. What say you, Austin? Oh, sorry.
Think it's very underrated. It's a forgotten WrestleMania main event that shouldn't be forgotten.
Agreed.
If we're talking Hogan's first run, sure. It's not my favorite Hogan match ever, but this is still a really good match, I think.
Okay.
I think a lot of the love that Matt and I have for this comes from we were alive during it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that's
of course.
Where your love for Hogan Rock come in.
Yeah.
Although I do love Hogan Rock, too. That is a fantastic match.
I love that match so much. I love Hogan Rock.
found out by that point Hulk Hogan was a piece of shit.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, by 2002, it was like, yeah.
But
Hogan's
even that,
cool.
but even now though, I can turn on Hogan and Rock and just be like, wow, this match is awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, should we talk about? So there was the Piper's Pit segment with Morton Downey Jr.
Yeah.
and Brother Love.
Smoke in my face.
By the way, Morton Downey Jr. So even though I didn't agree with him politically, I was also very into him at that time in the Morton Downey Jr. show. And coincidentally, he had done a tour. He had done some on the road Morton Downey Jr. shows. And one of the places he came to was Concord, New Hampshire, the Capitol Theater. And yes, I did go see Morton Downey Jr. live at the Capitol Theater as well.
So this whole segment, it was presented to me, and I assume Piper had been away for a while, like filming stuff.
Yep.
So like this was presented.
Live.
Yeah, so this was presented to me like Piper coming back into like the wrestling space.
Yeah.
Because hadn't he, and I use quotes again, hadn't he retired by this point?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
He had his retirement match against Adrian Adonis at WrestleMania 3.
Yep.
So then he was just doing movies by that point. So like by this point, Piper, to maybe a lesser extent, had made the switch to like he's just a celebrity now. Like
kind of, yeah.
I assume not in like the big sense, but like
Right.
people knew of his movies.
Hey,
I would imagine
he was in They Live.
They Live is awesome. That's a
They
good one.
Live is so hard to say it's better than Halloween or The Thing, but it's one of John Carpenter's best.
I will say, I thought this segment, I remember sitting there with my friends through this segment and thinking, yeah, this is fun. I love I'm enjoying all three of these characters interacting, but when is it going to end?
It does go on for a long time.
It's too long. It's too long.
Bruce Pritchard says it went long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard him say that. Yeah.
He said it was the fault of Robert Downey Jr. and Piper both.
Morton Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
Whatever.
We got Iron Man in the arena.
Hey, no, he wore blackface in Tropic Thunder. Come on now.
That's a good movie.
Oh, so you had something in common with Piper.
Yeah, but it wasn't funny when Piper did it.
No.
Downey went full instead of half.
That's true. That's true. You always, you never go full, which is what Piper knew. Oh, that's something different. Never mind.
Same movie though. I'm actually proud of you, Matt.
I love Tropic Thunder. Problematic, perhaps, but a great movie. Very
not
funny.
Get made today, but
That movie would be canceled.
Hard to believe it was made when it was, even let alone today. Not that long ago.
On streaming services, it is heavily edited.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you got to buy it physically.
Yeah.
I own the Kino Lorber 4K of it.
But yeah, the segment was too long. But other than that, it was fun.
I like what they did there with Morton Downey Jr. There, I got it right. Yeah, it just went too long. It was painful. Because you're just sitting there and you're like, Piper, just pop him.
Yeah.
Piper, get him. Piper, get him. And then
even
you
really
have the payoff of the fire
extinguisher.
Yeah.
Like, thank God that's over.
Yeah, just too long. One other very, very quick thing. They had Rock and Robin open singing America the Beautiful.
Yeah.
She was
wasn't she the women's champion at the time? Or
she was a women's champion at the time, and what didn't make any sense to me is, so she doesn't have a match on the card, but she was feuding with Sensational Sherry leading up to that, and they did promos back and forth, but then they don't have a match on WrestleMania. That was very weird to me.
That is weird.
Sherry got injured.
Oh, I didn't realize that. She was injured?
Sherry was injured, and Robin there was heat with Robin at that point in time.
Okay, I didn't know about any of that. Okay.
Well, Robin, anytime there's locker room heat, I feel I side with management, but on this one, I side with Robin. Robin had every right to be pissed off. She felt disrespected. Fabulous Moolah took liberties with her, forced a pinfall,
No,
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
right?
you
Shocked.
don't say.
Moolah was getting paid more than her.
Yeah.
Didn't appear nearly as much as her or work the loops like she did, and Robin was champion. And Robin is Jake the Snake Roberts' sister.
I didn't know that. I never knew
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Oh, I had no idea.
yeah. The Dark Side of the Ring about Grizzly Smith.
Oh, I'll be damned.
I forget. There's another brother in that family.
Well, there's Sam Houston, who's also Jake's brother.
Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Grizzly Smith, who molested little girls.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's how Jake was born.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
Yeah, there's a Dark Side of the Ring about Grizzly Smith that you should definitely watch. That
Wow.
really, you're sitting here and you're saying no because you don't like watching negative TV like that, but you really understand how Jake became.
Oh, yeah.
He, like, with why you're like, hell, I would have been addicted to drugs too. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No, I had no idea that Rockin' Robin was his sister. I never knew that. Okay, but Sherry was injured, so that makes sense. Yeah, because they did promos leading up to it. And then,
Vince didn't want the women's division on WrestleMania.
yeah.
You think about it, they were on WrestleMania 1,
Yeah.
weren't on 2, weren't on 3, weren't on 4,
Right.
weren't on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We get it at 10, and once again, it gets shortchanged with an awful match.
Yeah.
Technically, Sherry wrestles on Mania 6.
Oh, does she? Can't
Yeah, it's
remember.
her and Macho against
Oh, yeah,
Rhodes and Sapphire.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Forgot about
But
that.
the women don't have a singles match, is what I
No,
was saying.
Right.
Until 10.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Because
Well,
they didn't know how to book women's wrestling.
yeah. Well, very good. So WrestleMania 5. This has been a long show, but anything else to say about WrestleMania 5?
I think it was. For the first time in a few weeks, I can say this. I think the pluses outweigh the minuses.
Me too.
But, I think there are some matches now that don't hold up, but you really like the foundation this card laid.
Mhm.
Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. You
Mm-hmm.
look at the names on this card.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Well, very good. Very good. Oh, so what are we doing next week? Did we talk about that?
Yes, we did last week. It is my turn to pick
Okay.
my favorite WrestleMania.
Okay.
Any guesses?
Can't remember.
We are going back to 1994, WrestleMania 10.
Yes.
The greatest opening match in WrestleMania history.
I would agree.
And
I would not. It's a good match, though.
you're fired.
Well, we'll get it. You can't fire the owner. How dare you?
I just did.
He can unfire himself, though. He's the owner.
Yeah, I'm back.
The owner of Tough Bumps. He's back already. See?
Yeah.
Now, if we were publicly traded, you could get the board involved. And,
Apparently, this dipshit has a board who's working on his
I do.
website, his domain.
he said he has a guy. He didn't say he has a board.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a
No,
guy.
first he said he had people. That
Right.
insinuates more than one.
But my
That
guy
is
does the
saying-
work of people.
Yes. The guy could have multiple personalities. We don't know. How much do we know about the guy, the mystery
Right.
man? Oh my
That's
God, is it Pat McAfee?
Yeah, it's Pat McAfee.
Oh. You're right, Eric?
All right, WrestleMania 10,
We broke Eric.
My
Madison-
head hurts.
Madison Square Garden.
Good
Head
stuff.
hurt.
Good stuff. All right. Well, Eric, where can people find you?
You can find me on www.theirishtribune.com. You can find me on pilcherspoint.com. You can find me on X, new Twitter handle. My profile has been Irish Tribuned up.
Okay.
Eric Pilcher IT for Irish Tribune.
Oh.
And TikTok and Instagram under Pilcher's Point.
What's funny, Austin? What's funny about that?
It was just the IT, and then he had to make a point that.
Well, because I don't want him saying Eric Pilcher IT. What is he going to help me with my computer?
Well, that's the thought that I had. I was like, are you in tech support now?
Wise the clown. Although some of our viewers have called me a clown and called me much worse, I might add.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever. The Ellen. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Little does he know, I have first billing because
That's
I'm
right.
the owner.
You're the owner.
No, you're not. Austin.
Yeah.
Austin, where can people find you?
Follow me on Twitter.
Hell with the rest of the
Oh my god. Wow, aggressive.
I'm on Twitter. Is where I post anything that comes to my mind. So if you have Twitter and you care, follow me. It's mostly wrestling, but I talk about other stuff.
Outstanding. And of course, you can find me at mattconnerton.com. I don't know if I remember to mention it last week, but the website has been redesigned. It's very sleek and sexy. I think you'll like it.
I actually took a look at it.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. mattconnerton.com. That's where you can find me and all the things I do. And I guess that's going to do it. Episode 39 in the books. Please like and subscribe to the show if you are on YouTube, or subscribe on your podcast platform of choice, etc. And all right, we're out of here, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
We take, we rise again. Blood and grit, it's how we begin. Mac and Aaron fire up the flame. Wrestling lives on the Tough Bones name.